Ever since the release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker's teaser trailer number 1 that made its debut over at Star Wars Celebration back in April of this year, followed by the second teaser trailer that made its debut over at D23 just recently a couple of weeks ago. Since then, a lot of fans have been very excited and eager to see the third and final trailer of Episode 9 that'll provide fans a better sense of the overall tone of this film by director J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film is, of course, going to contain many different pieces of nostalgia. One of the main parts is, of course, is that Palpatine is back in this story and is going to be pulling the strings in the background. Now, on top of all of this, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to various shot descriptions of the upcoming Trailer 3 of Episode 9, this is where things begin to get very intense for this movie. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's said that Luke Skywalker is standing next to R2-D2 on an unknown world at night, where it's described that he is looking out to a large ship, flying out of the atmosphere and jumping into hyperspace, where there is a distant fire scene in the background as Luke stands next to R2-D2. It's implied that this is the same world of Luke's Jedi training temple, and in the form of a flashback sequence. Luke appears to be very emotional and depressed during the scene, where the silhouette of an X-Wing can be seen in the background. Another describes a sequence in which Rey and Kylo Ren are locking their lightsaber blades together, where their blades are actually said to be locked together to a moment where Rey is said to be using Kylo Ren's crossguard lightsaber against him, where Kylo is using Anakin's Skywalker saber against Rey, where one of the sequences is said to involve Kylo force-pushing Rey and grabbing back his crossguard, where Kylo now holds both Anakin's and his own, where he is wielding a blue and red lightsaber, showing a parallel to Anakin Skywalker from Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. The sequence is said to demonstrate just how action-packed the film will be in the third act of the film. Another goes over a shot where it's said to be a rear view of Palpatine walking onto an observation deck and witnessing his new superweapons, called, of course, the Annihilators, destroying the world of Kijimi, where the entire surface of the planet is said to be being lifted up and thrown into space. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, the one big highlight about The Rise of Skywalker is that we do know that this film is going to be introducing many different flashbacks that will fill in the gaps in between Episodes 6 and 7, and that a lot of this is going to have all to do with the characters of Luke Skywalker, Leia, Ben Solo, etc., that's going to give us a better idea of what their lives were like before the events of The Force Awakens. So, the one thing that really stands out to me the most in, of course, the upcoming trailer of Episode 9 is, of course, Luke Skywalker standing next to R2-D2 at night, looking at a ship leaving the atmosphere of an unknown world, where there's said to be a large fire in the distance in the background behind Luke Skywalker and R2-D2. So the thing that really does interest me is that this most likely is, of course, the flashback scene that we actually got to get a little glimpse of by Vanity Fair in the form of an image, where you do in fact see Luke and R2-D2 looking at something, where you do see a fire in the background. Now this most likely takes place on the same exact world of the world that takes place involving Luke Skywalker's Jedi training temple. So you can really see what J.J. Abrams is trying to do. He's trying to really kind of just give us a better idea of where Luke's life was before the events of The Force Awakens, apart from the flashback sequences that we already got in, of course, The Last Jedi. In this particular scene, that ship that's leaving the atmosphere, that very well could be Kylo Ren leaving with, of course, Luke Skywalker's Jedi students that were actually alive and captured by Kylo Ren. The other of which that seems like it's going to be a very dramatic moment between both Rey and Kylo Ren is when they are locking lightsabers together, where Rey is said to be wielding, of course, Kylo Ren's crossguard, where Kylo Ren is now using Anakin's lightsaber against Rey. So you can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to create new visuals for, of course, Star Wars Episode 9, where we have Kylo Ren as a dark side user holding a light side oriented saber, and of course vice versa with Rey being a light side oriented user, where she's actually wielding a dark side lightsaber that's actually belonged to Kylo Ren. Now, what I like about that is that it's something fresh and new. We've never seen something like that before on the big screen between a main villain and a main hero, where they are using both of their opposite lightsabers against each other. And that, to me, I think is going to be a very visually impressive moment by J.J. Abrams and George, and what they're really trying to do between both Rey and Kylo Ren during their major lightsaber duel at the very end of this movie. Now, the last piece that I just want to touch on here is, of course, where we have a rear view of Palpatine, where it's said that he's actually said to be looking out a window on an observation deck, looking out to the destruction of the world of Kijimi by his new super weapons that are actually called the Annihilators. Now, these Annihilators are said to be the updated versions, or the Disney versions, I should say, of the World Devastators that we got in the expanded universe. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.